Hi everybody, Dan Illman and Mike Beer, the DRFBets Race of the Day for Saturday, August the 10th, race number 9 at Saratoga. It is the Grade 1 Fourstardave Handicap. 3 and up, going a mile on the inner turf. $500,000 is the purse. Great card at the spa on Saturday. Get involved with a DRFBets account. Sign up at drf.com/bet. Get a $100 deposit match and start firing away with us. Let's meet the field for the Fourstardave, and I want to remind you that you can access free formulator past performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. Download them, handicap along with us. We'll take this field in post-position order, beginning with the number 1, March to the Arch. This horse, graded stakes winner at Churchill Downs 2 back in the Wise Dan. Got a real nice ride from Tyler Gaffalione that day. Saved ground, gradually eased away to the outside, and was able to run him down late. That trip didn't exactly work out, I thought, last time out in the Forbidden Apple over Yielding Going. You're the president of this horse's fan club, and he should get some pace to attack late.
Yeah, I think this race is going to set up well for him. I like this distance for him, and I'm with you. I feel like his Forbidden Apple was overall just a fine performance. I don't think the trip was a great one for him. He was just could never get out to the clear on the stretch, always sort of down towards the inside trying to rail. I thought he ran well, Dan. I think he's clearly come back an improved 4-year-old. He's got a great post for this distance on the inner turf, and I think this pace is going to set up the right way for him.
Barclay Tagg had a maiden winner at Saratoga on Thursday. He'll send out the number 2, Dr. Edgar. Barclay's done a great job with Dr. Edgar. When he took him over from Carl Domino, a very good trainer in his own right, he was basically a starter allowance, entry-level allowance horse, but he's now moved up, and he has been a graded stakes winner this year, taking the Appleton. His game is speed, however, and as we look at the Timeform US Pace Projector, there might be one just a little bit faster, and that's on the far outside with Gadoo. I think Dr. Edgar, under the right circumstances, can press and finish. This field, though, it might be a little too tough.
Yeah, I wonder if he's good enough to beat these horses. I mean, he's certainly a very good horse, and he's going to be forward in this race. Even if he doesn't make the lead, he's going to be sitting up close. So maybe the trip will work out. You know, he is 2 for 2 with Leparoux riding. If that makes any difference to you, it doesn't make any difference to me. I thought he ran okay last time, Dan. I didn't really see his big excuse in the poker, though, and I think this is a much tougher spot.
The number 3, Uni, is one of the best turf females in the country. There's no doubt about that. She's won her last 5 races. She won the Matriarch, a Grade 1 race, 2 starts back at Del Mar. Off the 6.5-month layoff, I thought that was a perfectly fine comeback in the perfect sting. Chad had options for Uni. You really don't want to stretch her out to a mile and 3/16 in the Beverly D against Sister Charlie from the same barn. I think Chad realizes this is a pure miler, and she's got some tactical speed, but can she beat the boys?
I mean, we'll see if she can. I'm not going to be surprised if she can do it. I think you're right. This is the distance that she really wants. The last 5 starts for Chad, all at this distance. She's won every one of those as easy as you can win graded stakes races. I just think she's really good, and she's another horse who will benefit from any pace that develops. I think she's a contender in here.
Chad Brown also has the number 4, Raging Bull, who won a graded stakes race at the Spa last summer, taking the Grade 3 Saranac, and like Uni, went to Southern California to pick up a Grade 1, that being the Hollywood Derby in his 3-year-old finale. He's had 3 races this year, Mike. I think we've seen gradual improvement from each and every one. Last time out in the Manhattan on Belmont Stakes Day, he's never going to beat bricks and mortar. That horse might just be the best horse in the country on any surface. Raging Bull got a good trip under Javier that day. He saved ground, he eased out, there was no traffic in his path, but I liked the way he stayed to his task at a distance that might be a little bit far for him. It was his first race with blinkers. I like the cutback, especially in a race with speed. This horse is going to be charging late.
Yeah, I think he is going to be charging late. He gets a clean trip in this race. I think you'll see him come running at the end. I think the mile distance is okay for him. I wonder if he wants to go maybe a little farther. I don't know, Dan. I could go either way on him, I guess, so I'll let Price sort of decide it for me. I got to say, I know it was off the layoff. I didn't care for his only started a mile so far this year in the Makers 46. I thought he got a perfectly good trip in that race. There was pace in there, and I didn't really see his excuse, but maybe he just needed it off the layoff. I'm not for him or against him. I'll see what kind of price he is and then decide what I'm going to do with him.
Number 5, European Invader Ostilio. Now, he's not going to be on the Timeform US Pace Projector because he is a foreign horse, but this is a horse that has shown some speed overseas. A Group 2 winner in France. That's nothing to sneeze at. Here's the concern. He's raced twice this year, Mike. He has not run well either time. Now, maybe he's bled and he's going to get Lasix for the first time out. But I wonder, maybe this horse was just an early one and he hasn't been able to just match up to the group types in his last two.
Yeah, I think you got to be really concerned about his last two races because neither one of them are good performances at all. And they really bet him first time back, and he just didn't run at all. And then they totally abandoned him last time, and he didn't run again. His running style can play well over here if he catches firm turf and uses his speed. The problem with him in this race is he's got speed to his inside, he's got speed to his outside, and you just don't know what you're going to get. I think he's a pretty tough sell in this race.
The number 6, Got Stormy, shrugged off a 3-month layoff. Couldn't have been more visually impressive. Winning the restricted De La Rose a week ago for trainer Mark Casse. I mean, Tyler had 2 fistfuls of dynamite at the 3/16 pole. Didn't even ask Got Stormy to run till about the 8th pole, and Got Stormy did the rest when asked the question. Now, let's be honest. This field is no Completemptras, no Stella di Camelot. This is a big step up in class for a filly that's gotten good.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because after the 2 races prior to the last one, she just ran really well in both of those starts. And then she missed a little time, I guess, so she was still eligible for that restricted stakes last time. She just buried that field. Quick turnaround here in a race where they're going to be going a lot faster in front of her. So they're asking a lot, but she's in the best form of her career right now.
Yet another graded stakes winner is up next. The 7 Krampus won the Canadian Turf 3 starts back. Let's talk about the poker. I didn't think the poker was the strongest race in the world this year. I thought Krampus, first time blinkered, got a pretty good trip. Blanket finish at the wire. This is a horse that while he has credentials and is going to be a good price for the great Bill Mott, he still has some things to prove.
Yeah, I agree with all that stuff. I mean, I thought he ran fine in the poker, but he got a great trip and ride in there. And even though he was close at the end, was there ever a point in the stretch, Dan, where you thought he was going to win that race? I really never thought he was going to win. He's a nice horse. He's rock solid. He can get a good trip in this race. I just think he's in too tough here.
Mike the 8 Hembry finished ahead of 3 of these common rivals in the Forbidden Apple earlier this meet, but he broke my heart. I needed him at 12-1 that day. And he just got ran down in the last stride. I believe you picked Mr. Haverkamp that day to beat Hembry. Hembry is a nice, solid horse. The story of his career is he finishes second a lot, but Michael Maker has gotten him good, and I would not discount him at a price.
I would not either. He's just been in really good form, and he just sort of confirmed that last time in the Forbidden Apple. Yes, he got the pace he needs to run at, but he's going to get pace in this race again. And, based on his last 3 races, he's a contender right back.
Maybe we're overthinking this thing, and Chad's just going to pop at a price with the 9, Made You Look, who returned from almost an 11-month layoff last time out in the Forbidden Apple. It was a race where he obviously could have been using it just to prep for the Grade 1 Fourstardave, a race in which he was 4th last year. He was far from embarrassed considering the long benching. Made You Look is another horse that could get pace in here, and on his best day, I think he's good enough to get a look at it.
Yeah, I do too. It's funny because right after the Forbidden Apple, after the race was over, I said, you know what, wherever this horse shows up next, I think they were prepping him last time. He made a run at that race. You could just see him flatten out at the end like he needed the start. And now he shows up for a second start in a Grade 1 in a race where he can get a good trip. I didn't pick him on top 10, but I'm using him.
And Dr. Edgar or no Dr. Edgar, Guido is one-way speed. They've tried it his last couple of races, and it's worked out very well. In that race 2 starts back, he just bottomed out the field and held off a very good horse in the returning Annals of Time. Last time out, he outsprinted Voodoo Song. He went fast to the lead over a very soft turf course, and he understandably got tired in a race that seemed to fall apart a bit late. Guido's probably going to make the lead, and he's probably going to clear over to the inside. My question to you is he good enough? He only has 1 buyer over 90 in the last 6 or 7 starts.
Yeah, I don't know if he's good enough, but he's a dangerous horse in here if he can clear off to the front because he's wicked fast. And from outside, it just feels like that's what Franco's going to do. He's going to send him. I didn't even think he ran poorly at all, even though he finished 9th in the Forbidden Apple. I didn't think he ran a bad race at all, considering the pace of that race. Can he get the right trip and then run his best race? I don't know, Dan. I'm not going to use him, but I'm a little bit afraid of this horse.
Top picks for Saturday's DRFBets Race of the Day. Mikey Beer always looking for some value. Going with the 1, March to the Arch, 10-1 on our colleague David Aragona's morning line. You're going to get some pace. This horse should come running late.
Yeah, I just feel like he makes enough sense in this race, and at a price, I wanted to take a shot with him. I went 1, 3, 9, and 8, but this is a very interesting race. I think trips are going to make the difference.
You are not a Raging Bull fan. I thought you liked him last year as a 3-year-old. He's lost you, I think, in 2019.
Yeah.
I liked what I saw from the blinkers, just a more professional version, and I like him cutting back to a mile. And maybe the price won't be there, but I think with Uni in here and a couple others, the 3-to-1 on the morning line is somewhat reasonable. I went 4, 8, 9, and 3 in the Grade 1 Fourstardave Handicap. It is your Saturday DRFBets Race of the Day. Please get involved with a DRFBets account. Sign up, get that $100 deposit match, and start firing away with us. Approximate post time for the Four-Star Dave, 5:46 Eastern. Best of luck.